Hey guys! So for this art video, I decided to draw Raven from Cartoon Network's Teen Titans, and I don't really have any sort of recollection of what inspired me to draw this. It just sort of happened, and then it was kind of a long debate on how I should color it and like what I should do to color it. I was like, well, the line art turned out fairly decent, the drawing's fairly decent-ish, and I mean, there's things that bother me about it, but whatever. And I was like, well, I could color it digitally, or I could use my markers, or I could use my colored pencils, and if I use my colored pencils, I'm not that good with them, so it's probably going to be crap. And then it's like, well, I'm not that good with them because I never use them, so I need to start using them. And thus, they came to the decision to color with colored pencils. And then came the next difficult decision, which is what the hell is going to be in the background. And I did think of space first, after long contemplation. And then I was like, wait, no. Her powers are black. And space is black. That's not really going to work in a way that I feel like dealing with. So I was like, oh, I'll do some like really cool, cloudy, sort of purpley thing, because purple just felt right to me. And I had all the colors picked out, and I had them all like in order, and right about, like I was right about to start drawing and coloring it, and I was like, wait, no, her hair is purple. Damn it. I can't have the background be purple and her hair be purple. It wouldn't work. It would look bad. So, what I did was, I didn't want to test it out on the drawing, obviously. So I took a copy of the picture, and I didn't feel like opening Photoshop, so I opened MS Paint, and I just started paint bucket tooling different colors. And yeah. So I ended up choosing like a more of a blue scheme, and I was going for something more cloudy, like not fiery as it ended up looking, but whatever. And I'm not unhappy with the final results in terms of like the fieriness. I'm unhappy with certain areas of it that it didn't turn out how I wanted. But oh man, this background, this freaking background, I think by itself, it took me 3 hours, and that was just of like filming time, because I did work a tiny bit on it off screen, and then like, okay, so I layered on the first layer of the lightest blue, and I just kind of kept going darker and darker, but I wouldn't, go into the lightest parts. I would just go close to it, and I would do that every single time just to layer it on, and then I went over it all with black. And it obviously it looked really crappy with all the white spots, so I had to make sure I layered in enough color to try and hopefully make sure that it would all be properly covered once I went over with the blending sticks, which if you have colored pencils, the Prismacolor colorless blender pencils are like the most amazing thing ever. So I started going over everything with that, and oh my god, it hurts my hand so bad because you have to press down so hard, and it was ridiculous. I think I really hurt my arm, which is bad. So I did as much as I could, and then off camera I went to Alex, my partner, and I'm like, Alex, can you do the rest of this background for me? And like the amazing, generous person that he is, he did. So, but that was off camera, so, I mean, you will have missed that, but whatever. I already showed me doing half of it anyway, so you'll get the point. And, yeah, so that was an interesting little thing of trying that out. And then the hair, which is happening right now, and that was probably my favorite part to do. I don't know, I've always liked coloring hair and just hair general stuff. So, and it turned out pretty nice, probably better than I expected, especially since I don't know what I'm doing with colored pencils. And then another thing I was worried about was her powers, And as I was coloring it in, it was just like these ugly black blob things, and I'm like, oh god, did I just make the biggest mistake ever? But luckily it turned out okay with the white gel pen coming to the rescue, because I when I outlined everything, I did line weight everywhere and like did varying line widths and stuff, but I didn't do it specifically in the areas that I knew that the black circles would be, because I was like, oh well, it doesn't matter what goes on in there because I'm just gonna do white gel pen anyway, and it worked out, and it's kind of nice. I like that. There's probably some things that I would have done a little bit different here and there. I think the thing that I like the least, aside from the fact that the background didn't come out how I wanted, but it's not like bad, but it's not how I wanted, but would be the cape, because I used this blue and it was a dark blue, and I didn't think the blue would show up that much when I was blending all these grays over it. Another thing I was also worried about was the skin, because I'm not really good at skin, but it actually turned out a lot better than I expected it to, so I'm pretty happy about that. There's some spots that I don't like, but it's still way better than I expected it to, just because I don't know what I'm doing with colored pencils and it's really difficult. But I think along with the last picture that I did with just colored pencils, that helped a lot. Anyway, back to the cape. So I used this dark blue because I wanted to get some shadows in. I also was trying to look at references for capes, like just where to put the shadows, and I really screwed that up. I'm just looking at it right now, and it's not at all how I pictured it to be. I think I just didn't do enough like midtones, and my darks aren't really dark enough, but whatever. One thing that was a little annoying was just the white gel pen, because I had pressed down really hard with the colorless blender, and then the white when I wanted to lighten some things up, because the colorless blender doesn't lighten anything, it's just the wax, so it just pushes everything together. But if you use a white, it actually adds white, which I wanted in some cases. So I used it on the skin and I used it on the cape. But anyway, fuck, what was my point? Oh, the white gel pen. Anyway, because it was so flattened and waxy, like the white gel pen did not want to go over, so I had to keep going off of the artwork and then onto the paper behind it and scribble a little bit to try and get the ink to come back out. And that was a very arduous process. And then as I blended with the white colored pencil, it covered the black outlines, so I had to go back over with a ink pen, but then my ink pen's dying, so I had to choose a larger size, so I had to be extra careful and not screwing things up. So yeah, but I mean, overall I'm pretty happy with it, and I had fun experimenting more with colored pencils, and I think I want to do some more colored pencil pieces in the future. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Bye!